So today we are going to see research methodology, and which will be useful to you for your project and also to publish research publications. So first of all, there is an introduction regarding how will you conduct research. So in that, for doing research, the main component is library. Hope you all have visited that, and our library in our John's College, our library is equipped with InflibNet, and in that InflibNet you have some more than 20 journals and articles, and which is listed out here. First of all, let us see the library resources. So generally the library will be your reliable guide. In what way? Any guessings? For each and every topic, you will have certain hypothesis. Regarding that hypothesis, you will need to find results. So for that, you have to research. Search and search. Again, search and search for your results. So library will have the sources like primary sources and secondary sources. So primary sources, for example, you will have some kind of novel or poetry, that is called primary source. And secondary source, you will have criticism, journals, articles, magazines regarding the topic from the primary source, that is called secondary source. For each primary source, there will be more than 20 to 50 secondary sources. Okay. So for that secondary sources, library will be your most reliable guide. You can believe the books which are kept in the library. So nowadays, libraries are also equipped with electronic resources. For example, each library is consisting of, any guessings? What will you find in the library? Books, journals, articles, atlas, almanacs, then encyclopedia, and you will have abstract, and in that abstract you will have the author's biographical information and also the information related to their works. So and also added to that, you have electronic equipment. For example, library is consist of several systems or computers. Okay. So through that, and our library is also connected with internet facility, and through that internet facility you can download article, journals, books. Also there are many free books in PDF to read that. Okay. So last week we have visited the library, and can anyone please tell what are the resources in that library that you have seen? Anyone? At the entrance of the library you have seen OPAC, online public catalog. Yes. And in that system, what will you find? Maybe what did you find? You have the information about the author. If you enter any keyword like author or books, you will get the not only name, the place of the book, where the book is situated or where the book is arranged. And you also have known the particular serial number in which the library books are arranged, and with the help of that you can enter into the library, and using the keyword you can be able to find out the place of the library books. Okay. And this is about electronic resources and books and similar publication, and this is about articles and other publications in print periodicals, and certain section will consist of the printed materials of articles and journals. Nowadays the journals and articles are easily accessible through online in library computer, and by providing your personal information to the librarian, you can also access the information. You can also be able to visit and read the journals and articles by using your personal computer or laptop. So this is called Central Information System, and every library is equipped with this Central Information System, and this information will provide you about the books, periodicals, electronic sources and audio visual materials which the whole library is consist of. Okay. I think you can understand this thing. So reference work. So for each reference work, for example, if I am asking you to define post-colonial literature, how will you define it at first? Maybe you all have known that earlier, but for the sake of referring it, how will you refer it, or how will you? Yes, what are the basic books first you will refer to? Beginning theory, okay. I will give you an easy method how to refer with the first step. You can at first you can refer to any keyword or technical word or any theoretical terms. You can first refer it with the dictionary or encyclopedia. That will be very easier. Nowadays you all have smartphones and you can easily access to with the help of dictionary app or encyclopedia app. So at the very first step, in order to define the technical terms, you can refer to the encyclopedia or dictionary, and you have to refer the dictionary in which you have quoted your technical term. For that you have to give this technical term or this technical term or keyword is referred from this particular dictionary or encyclopedia. Okay, because we are all just learners and we have not to that high extent to say any sweeping statement. We have to give any information in your research journal or article or even in your project work, anything in an authentic method. For that you have to first refer to the dictionary or encyclopedia. For example, even if you know what is meant by post-colonial, but you have to tell anything with reference to dictionary or encyclopedia. This is the first step, and then to the any other technical term books. For example, you can take from M.H. Abrams or any other technical term. So some libraries will have information in CD-ROM or DVD, this both, and in that you will have the whole PhD thesis or any other relevant books which is not available in the printed material. Okay, and if you ask the librarian about the scheme, he or she will help you personally to refer to that. So how this central information system works? So this can be worked out by the Wi-Fi system. For example, our university, Manoanmaniyam Sundarnar University, is equipped with free Wi-Fi inside the whole campus. Wherever you are, with a simple login system, you can enter into it and you can search for anything which is valuable to refer for your research. Each and every campus library is whole with electronic system, bibliographic databases and other resources. Not only it's a rule, but it's an essential, reliable source. For example, bibliographic databases. What are the bibliographic databases that you have known earlier? While going for the library visit, we have seen it fully how to refer with the bibliographic database. Can anyone quote any one or two? And in the while you are entering into the library, you will have that OPAC, Online Public Catalog System. So with that, you can find the name of the book and the author, everything is loaded with the information there, and through that you can use that bibliographic databases. In that, every information about the author and the book is arranged with alphabetical order, according to the MLA Handbook of Research and Methodology. So reference work, you will quote any reference which you do regarding your project work at last in the bibliography or works cited list. So index and bibliographics, and most of the research materials that you have undergone during your research will be arranged according to the newspaper, magazines, journals and websites, also according to the secondary sources which you have used as print materials, and you can also include your web materials here. Okay. And then collection of abstracts, newspaper abstracts, periodical abstracts, biological abstract and book review digest, and also dissertation abstracts. So in newspaper abstract, you will have certain information, for example certain happenings which may be not included in the print material, but that will be available as newspaper cuttings. For example, Indira Gandhi's assassination is available in newspaper cuttings, and it is still kept in each and every library for accession. Okay. And you can get many details regarding the newspaper abstract. You can get any single detail, and which is also a reliable source, newspaper abstracts. You can refer it to. For example, if you are doing for example, you have studied theory museography. What is that? Analyzing and comparing the source and elements which is kept in the museum. Okay, that is called museography. And before getting into the theory, you can have materials which is available in the museum, and you can refer to the newspaper abstract for the museum elements. For example, ancient things, antique things, and there are more than 5 types of museum also. Art gallery museum, then wax museum, then antique collection, then okay, species of animals and plants, then okay, literature and cultural elements which can be seen in the museum. And for that each elements which is kept in the museum, you can see or refer it to with the newspaper abstracts. You can refer it to. For example, if you are going to a hotel, okay, you just want to check whether the food provided in the hotel is nice or not. What will you do? Before eating? Okay, you may ask reviews from others. For example, in online shopping also, you wish to buy something. For that, you will buy anything which you want immediately? No. For that, any kind of shopping or anything, you will first go to the reviews first. So you will get 1 or 2 more reviews for that, in reference also, in conducting research also. It is not enough to submit one research findings or one reference to that particular research finding. You may have 1 or 2 research findings. Okay. For that, you can go for newspaper abstract, periodical abstract. And for that, plant and species museum, you can refer to biological abstracts. Okay. So dictionary, this we have already seen. The main 2 reliable sources of dictionary are Oxford and Cambridge, and in which these two dictionaries, the phonetic transcriptions are particularly very good and appropriate. Oxford and Cambridge. And pamphlets, in those days there is no proper printed materials which can be kept in the library for as reliable source. So in those days they use some kind of pamphlets. For example, in Joseph Addison and Steele essay you have seen, they used to write pamphlets, and through that pamphlets they will publish. Okay. So almanacs is a collection of maps, and yearbooks, bibliographical sources, encyclopedias, dictionary. These are the most available sources in the library. And then these are all types of electronic versions, and we can come to this later. And so this is how you have to search in the library. For example, usually library is equipped with more than 30,000 books, and you can't go inside and immediately take out a book and come out. So you have to use this online catalog system to search for books, and in that you can simply type the name of the author or else the title of the book. Okay. And you can also search with some keywords or call number, that is called accession number. Okay. And this is how in Dewey Decimal System the library books are arranged. For example, computers, information, general references are numbered with 000, and then 100 is for philosophy and psychology, and 400 is for language, 800 is for literature. And you can note this literature is number 800. You can search in each and every college and in each and every library. The literature books start with the accession number 800. Okay. And this is the universal system which is followed throughout the world to arrange the library books, Dewey Decimal System. So location of library materials, you can have catalogs in which the library books are arranged everywhere. Then full text databases, you have abstract journals, bibliographies and everything, and our college library is having InflibNet, and in which the InflibNet they are paying some more than 1 crore to 2 crore for some kind of particular databases in order to receive the journals and articles. I think no one knows that. Okay. So if you give your name, then they will add it to some databases, and you can personally use your references by sitting in the home with your personal laptop or computer. So these are the full text databases, and last time we have visited for last year students, we have visited the university library, and we have seen more than 7 to 8 databases, and in that we have seen Oxford University Library, Cambridge University Library, JSTOR, and Wheelie Blackwell, Project Muse and Springer Link. Where? Then we have seen, I think, 8 more databases: Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press, Project Muse, Wheelie Blackwell, Springer Link, then Taylor and Francis, and then JSTOR. These 7 databases is available in university library and also in our college library through InflibNet facility, and in order to go inside it to refer for journals and articles, you have to be given a personal username and login password. Okay. And through that you can be easily see some more 1 lakh books, tracts, pamphlets and journals, articles and everything, and each journals and articles are given you as a free, and you are not paid or charged in order to see these kind of journals or books or articles. Okay. So compiling working bibliography, and this you have to do at last in your project work or research publication or research journal or articles, and this will be the information which you have referred earlier will be included as works cited or bibliography, and it is particularly arranged according to the MLA handbook order in the alphabets. So listen, it is essential to have a peer review journal of your own, because every journal or research article which you submit to some kind of college or journals or books, everything is peer reviewed. What is mean by peer review? A group will review, okay, and that group will consist of 4 kind of specialized persons in order to review your journals. Have you ever heard this word? Yes. Any guessings or any such clues? What is mean by this word? Copying. For example, in school days, we automatically get into the nature of copying in order to get pass in the exams. For example, for Tamil, you will have some special kind of guide, and for English also, you will have or you are provided with even by your teachers by some kind of guide, and that automatically grows up to your UG level. And in order to get or score high marks in the exams, you may tend to look at a guide, okay. And in PG level, do you think it is okay? No. Why it is not okay? Okay, you lose your authenticity. So, and in simplified words, you lose your name and fame, okay. And in UG level exam, for example, if you are copying for your semester exams, what will happen? Maybe you will be given punishment, suspended, or everything, maybe anything, okay. And that if you are copying from your from a person who is sitting before you, and it will be easily identified, okay, and both the papers will be similar, and automatically you will lose your marks. But in PG level, for example, if you are doing a project, okay, or in your PG level, if you are doing a research paper or journal, maybe research paper or journal is up to 5 pages and the project is up to 50 pages, okay. Do you think it is easily identified by any person? Maybe identified or identifiable by your guide or a mentor? Yes. You know that earlier. But still, this kind of plagiarism is going on in the MA level, MPhil level, and also in PhD level, okay. And here are some certain methods how to avoid that. First of all, to avoid plagiarism, the very first method is acknowledge the sources properly. You should not forget to acknowledge the sources, okay. For example, we have seen in the previous slide, in order to how to compile working bibliography, you have to refer to the each and every information which you have referred in your research findings in works cited or bibliography, okay. So plagiarism. இதுவா டபுள் டேப் பண்ணவா? இதுவா? இது இது okay. Definition of plagiarism. Okay, so plagiarism is derived from a Latin word plagiaris. Okay, and this is particularly means intellectual theft. Okay, அறிவு திருட்டு. இதுவும் திருட்டு தான். பேப்பர் ஸ்கூல் லெவல்ல எல்கேஜி அது ஓகே, எல்கேஜி யூகேஜி லெவல்ல யூ மைட் ஹேவ் ஸ்டீல் அ பென்சில் ஆர் ரப்பர். And in your school days for primary 1 to 5 ஏதாவது ஒன்று இருக்கும்ல. Okay, and in school days 11th 12th. Okay, UG level you know everything, you are very grown up and that is the age even right to vote அப்படிதானே. பட் அதிலே இப்பெல்லாம் plagiarism வந்துட்டு votingலே. Where is Shenba? Okay, so this is called intellectual theft. அதாவது இது நீங்க grown upங்கிறதுனால ரொம்ப ரிஃபைண்டா intellectual theft அப்படின்னு ஏதோ ரொம்ப ஹைஃபையா கொடுத்துருக்கு. கீழே பாருங்க நல்லா தெரியும் fraud. So hereafter you should not copy from any sources. Okay, okay, so consequences of plagiarism. You have copied a thesis for your project or otherwise you have copied something in order to publish your 5 pages of research paper. What will happen? Okay, here is the slide. So a complex society that depends on well informed citizens strives to maintain high standards of quality and reliability for documents. Okay, we are belong to a very high-fi state and we are all in our student level, but if you find that you have committed plagiarism, you yourself can imagine what will happen. Okay, so because research has the power to affect opinions and actions, responsible writers compose their work with great care. For example, we are in the field of arts. Okay, so what kind of research we will do? We are not belong to the field of scientist or science. Okay, we are all inventors. Okay, or discoverers. We have to say there is a thing which I have found out and I am going to give you in a refined manner. Okay, so if you do or commit plagiarism, then no one will follow your opinion. No one will believe you. People started unbelieving you at the moment they have find that you have committed plagiarism. Okay, so you should not steal any others ideas, facts, words and everything. For example, if you copy from every word to word, then that particular plagiarism is called verbatim. VERBATIM. Okay, இந்த ஈ அடிச்சான் காப்பின்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல, that is called verbatim. அப்படியே page to page, word to word copying. Okay, and if you steal anyone's ideas or facts, so for example 2 plus 2 equal to 4, 1 plus 3 equal to 4, 2 plus 2 equal to 4 னு வேற யாராவது சொல்லியிருந்தாங்கன்னா நீங்க 1 plus 3 equal to 4 னு சொல்லக்கூடாது. What does it mean? Basically what does it mean? அப்ப 0 plus 4 சொல்லலாமான்னு கேட்கக்கூடாது. The results which you have, 4 னு result வருதா, the result which you have shouldn't match with anyone. Because in research, your result should be in a very different manner, or in an innovative manner, or in a creative manner. Okay. நீங்க 4K போகாதீங்க, 5க்கு போயிருங்க. Okay. So for documenting, okay, if you forget to acknowledge, for example, okay, I am having this laser light. Okay. Someone is asking me, who got you this? Okay. What will I say? If I received this as a gift. Okay, I got as a gift. So and so has gifted me this. Okay. So I am going to say a lie now. I myself go to this shop and buy it my own. Okay. This is a lie. How should I solve this problem? I should acknowledge with correct information. Okay. So and so has gifted me for this special or occasional moment. I received this as a gift. And this is the way you are going to follow in the research findings. Okay. For example, if you are getting a new idea, the idea is your result. And in order to prove the idea is true, you are going to find some primary sources and secondary sources, and you are going to acknowledge that sources. Understood? If you properly acknowledge the sources, then you will be away from the plagiarism. So, okay, the charge of plagiarism is a serious one for all writers. Okay, and if you commit any kind of plagiarism, and if it is proved, then your work will be considered as worse, dishonest, and it will be considered that for personal gain you have did that. Okay. And in your PhD level, if they find that you have committed plagiarism, then there is a chance to reject your thesis, and even your degree will be cancelled. Okay. And it is also the role of the mentor to find if there is any plagiarism before submitting it. Okay. And so this is called unintentional plagiarism. Okay. And we can see how it happens. For example, if you are in a hurry to finish your project and you have only 2 more days to meet the deadline, and you are in a hurry to list out the sources which you have referred to earlier, in that time or in that course of time, you may tend to lose some of the informations that you have collected earlier from any kind of sources. Okay. And for that, in order to avoid that, you have to list out each and every sources which you have referred earlier, and by the final day you can arrange it according to the alphabetical order and you can include it. Okay. And this is how you have to avoid this unintentional kind of plagiarism. And at the same time, you should not paraphrase others' ideas to write your journal or thesis or project. Okay. That is also a kind of plagiarism. Your idea should be new and your result should be very new. Okay. If you want to away from plagiarism, there are 4 kind of methods to follow. First of all, in order to improve your writing skill, learn the grammar first. Start writing without any mistakes, because that will boost you that you can write anything according to your own. That is the first step. And then read as many as possible. And the third one, just go with your new findings. Don't copy it from anyone. And the fourth one is acknowledge the sources properly that you have referred to. Okay. This is how you have to avoid plagiarism.